Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to 90 at 9. Everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, starting now with a whole bunch of news about the credit crunch. It's been over a year now, but still it's not going away. We had over the last 5 years or so a wave of cash, borrowed cash, sweeping around the global economy, and now the tide is going out and it's leaving quite a bit of wreckage in its wake. Overnight, the Danish Central Bank had to bail out Roskilde, the nation's 8th largest bank, after it suffered big losses on real estate. House prices in parts of Copenhagen are down 25%. Elsewhere, Lehman Bros, the US investment bank which has been struggling, is in danger of having to dump its CEO after it failed to raise fresh cash from asset sales, and it's still trying to sell new shares to Korean investors. But the Korean authorities ruled overnight that investors in Korea couldn't invest in Lehman because it perhaps wasn't the safest thing to do. In Australia, the credit crunch goes on as well. ANZ is now likely to have to bail out Tricom securities after the Danish bank, Saxo, that was going to buy a stake, pulled out. ANZ has had all sorts of dramas with margin lending stockbrokers, and only a few days ago it had to sack a bunch of executives and have a real clean out after it discovered problems in lending to Opes Prime, which also collapsed. Meanwhile, Centro Properties, which has 1,500 shopping malls in Australia and the US, it says it can't roll over $4 billion in debt. That means three big Australian banks, which have operations here, the Commonwealth Bank, ANZ and National Australia Bank, are owed more than $2 billion by Centro and will have to declare losses, no doubt. I'm Bernard Hickey, that was 90 at 9 for interest.co.nz.